Paul, first one out the way. What were your thoughts on that?
That's a good way to ask me. The first one out the way. Yeah, I was really pleased with a lot, to be fair. Like, we only had the lads in for one day, one training session. We are quite a lot, me and Rich, to deal with. So they had a lot of information to take on. And I thought, we wanted to play. My team's always played with a real energy, a real athleticism, try to play forward when they can. And I don't know if you noticed, been try and cross the ball when they can. We have them throw-ins in the final third. We're trying to keep it in there. We're trying to help the lads with set pieces and everything. So for all the information they had to take on, plus the nervous energy of playing for a different manager, that's never nice. I thought the lads done really well and kept a clean sheet. I thought the only chance we really conceded was a header from a set piece early on, which is disappointing. But apart from that, I don't think we had a lot to defend. And I thought the lads give a good account of themselves, really. It's just disappointing there we didn't get a goal in the second half, which would have been the icing on the cake.
I mean, there's a lot gone before this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, the club has been at a low ebb and 4 defeats in a row, and it's just not obviously been a great atmosphere. So there was quite a lot of energy about that performance that maybe has not been there before.
Oh, great, thanks. Well, it didn't feel like, when I joined, it didn't feel like a depressing club. Everyone seems really happy down here, so it's quite nice. It must just be us Northerners who are grumpy. But and it felt like there was energy in the stadium, and I felt that I'd like to think the fans could see the lads give everything. And like I said, in fairness to them, I could see some of the lads were chugging. There was a bit of cramp going on. But in fairness, it's a different style. So it is hard to, I do want my sitting midfielder to spray gun it about. I do want to switch play quick. I do want my wing backs to put a real performance in. So I'm glad, hopefully, the fans have left today, up the Mighty Dons, left thinking, right, if that's the way it's going to be, and, obviously we're going to recruit in the summer to people who enhance the way we play, but we're always trying to win the game. We're trying to make attacking subs. We're trying to go for it, and like I said, unfortunately we didn't get the goal, but we kept a clean sheet, which is always precious, and it always gives you a chance. So there were some really good performances, and like I said to Rich, I thought the lads warmed up brilliantly. They seemed really focused, and you just never know. Everyone can. There's loads of players who are good in training and not very good on the match, but I thought they were all really brave on the ball, which I expected, and all contributed. So I'm really proud of how they played for us.
Yeah, because, they're obviously out to impress, aren't they? They're out to show what they can do.
Yeah, and I tell them that all the time. This is our gaff. This is where our families watch us be great. I don't want my family to watch me being like a loser and get in my car and they look at me like, look at the floor and think, oh, Dad's not in a good mood. I want them to think I'm Caesar, and I want the lads to feel like that. I want them to feel like Roman gods when they play. We'll change how it looks inside for next season. I want it to be, more about the current players and empower them, and I want them to play where teams, are scared to come and play here. So, as I've just said to the lads there, we'll get them sharper and the old classic one, the old fitter one. But to play for me, you have got to be a really good athlete, and and I just look forward to the upcoming games. But we've still got to make sure we collect enough points.
There wasn't many chances in the game, but certainly second half made the goalkeeper work a bit more.
Yeah, there wasn't many chances. You're right. There was an intent to cross the ball. I did say to the lads after, we didn't probably play to the striker's feet as much as I like. And there's moments where there was a cross first half from the left, and if it's the right wing back who wins the header, then Hogs has got a tap in from the middle of the six. But it wasn't. It was Hogan who had to win it, and it's just about trying to get the lads up the pitch and being in the right positions at times. And they're the things that we tweak, and that's why we get paid as coaches. But in fairness, I've joked already, we're not Harry Potter. We're not going to come in after one hour session on the match, the stadium pitch, be absolutely perfect. But most of it was pretty good. And like I said, the finishing edge at the top end of the pitch is the hardest thing, obviously. And I thought, in fairness as well, don't get away from the fact that Newport defended really well. They always had a threat up top with pace and that, and we dealt with that generally okay. So look, no team's going to come here and get their belly rubbed, but I like my teams to be aggressive. I like them to play forward when they can. And we started the game really well. You can't keep that intensity for 90 minutes. If that was the case, I'd manage Real Madrid. But there was a real intent about the play, and you could see the lads really wanted to win. And I asked them with 4 games to go to pick up some real points. And, I leave really pleased.
Yeah, and the clean sheet you mentioned a couple of times. But They have conceded goals over the last few games, but they, second half especially, I don't think Craig McGillivray had too much to do.
No, I don't. I'm glad you said his name because I just said Mags. But I don't think he had a great deal to do. He came for a cross from a free kick, which I love. I love my goalkeepers to be brave, and in the same way, I like my wing backs to be brave. Like there was a cross right at the end where we could have scored, and it went out the far stick. Like I'm not bothered about mistakes. It's about reaction and go again. Don't be fearful and all that. And I thought Mags was excellent at the back. He was a real calming influence. And you're right, he didn't have a great deal to do, but what he was asked to do, his handling was spot on. And there was a shot first half that, if it bobbles off your chippy boob, it could be a tap-in, but he held on to it really well. So I was really pleased with his performance. And in fairness, there's certain things in a really successful team, and having a really strong goalkeeping performance is essential.
What does the next 72 hours look like? Because obviously, it's not often you come in and you got a game on a Friday and a Monday, so you've obviously got a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I think psychologically the lads need a break from me. My personality is a bit much, even from my own family, so I've let them have a day tomorrow to just rest because physically they can't do anything. And we'll do all the clipping of everything I want to show them and all the great stuff and all the stuff we could be better at. The only thing, one negative, and this isn't criticising the dressing room, it's done from the right reason. They're trying to impress. We just give away too many needless free kicks at times, and that's we need to get better at that. And then we will come in Sunday, we'll show them the great things about the game today and the things that we need to keep improving, and incrementally, hopefully we will. And then we, take on a tough game away from home, travel Sunday night, and then go out all smiles and guns blazing and fearless. I want my teams to be fearless, and sometimes when you're not doing well, that's the hardest thing. It's difficult to make yourself be great when you're fearful of failure. So we'll keep reinforcing how great they are and the good things they did, and hopefully little by little we can improve. Yeah,
I mean, how much do you look at Crewe over the next couple of days, or having just stepped through the door 2 or 3 days ago?
Unfortunately, me and Rich will watch about 3 or 4, probably their last 3 games and try and clip up. But there's also a lot of emphasis on what we do. I like to think if we're at our very best, teams will struggle. So it will be 60, 70% of what we do, and with an awareness of what they do. And obviously they're in they're accruing more points than us, so we have to respect it. Plus away from home. Away from home is a completely different feel. So hopefully we'll get a decent away following, and the lads can put on another performance. But we'll watch all the games. Like I said, we'll count the bodies that look very tired, and then just tell them there's no excuse, and then we'll go again. That's sort of how football works, really, isn't it? People expect a performance again on Monday, and hopefully we haven't taken too much out of the lads. They're quite a young group, so they should be able to bounce back.
Callum Hendry did pick up a knock.
Pardon?
Callum Hendry did pick up a knock, of course, in the first half.
Yeah, and he didn't want to come off. No. You'd be surprised to know. It's hilarious. When you ask a player, you're all right, they're like, yeah. And then they come off, you're all right, no. So we had a few of them today. Obviously, Kel started cramping up a little bit. I thought he was really good getting between the lines and caused mayhem, so I was really pleased with him. And I thought at one time we were going to have to take Mags off because he looked a bit hammy sore, but in fairness, he said he was okay. I don't trust him, by the way. I asked the physios, and they said he was okay. So fortunately, he got through the game. So I don't think, apart from the one injury, and it's just like an intercostal muscle one, it might settle down. And he might be available for the weekend. The nice thing as well, by the way, I haven't mentioned, I thought Lecco was ledge when he came on. He's right up my street. Anyone who's brave enough to take the ball in positions and run at people and play. So I thought everyone who played a part today played a big part.
And the fans as well. Like we talked about, not many chances in the game necessarily, but they got behind the team as they have all season.
Yeah, good. And that's what I'm not saying that's what fans are for, but you want the fans to come and be entertained. That's the thing with football. You could buy a ticket for the cinema or the theatre. You're guaranteed a level of entertainment. With football, you're not, are you? And that's the honest truth. And that's why we're all addicted to it, because you just don't know what you're going to get. I watched Man United game last night and thought that's all over, and then boom. So I appreciate the fans staying with the players, and it means a lot. It does mean a lot. I played. I know what it's like. And there was a real positive vibe. And like I said, I think the fans appreciated the effort the lads put in. You can't guarantee results, but you can guarantee a level of effort and a level of performance. And generally speaking, I thought we box to box, we were pretty good, but we just didn't have enough to take all 3.
Alex Gilby missing for the first time, I think, this season in a league game. I understand he's picked up an injury.
Yeah, he's groin. He's been playing through it for months, and then as soon as I get in the door, he decides it's too sore. I mean, I'm joking. If that's in print, people would be like, I'm joking. Like, he's been ledge. I've spent a bit of time with him. I really like him. I think he's an amazing human, by the way, first and foremost, and a brilliant footballer. And he's probably the biggest goal threat as well. So that's a big blow for us. But he's been around the lads, and obviously he's disappointed he can't play. But I don't think we'll see him again this season, which is a blow. But we also need him to be healthy for the campaign next year.
Quick to pull the excuse card, was he?
Yeah. In fairness, I think I watched the last game, the Gillingham one, and he came off after like 80 minutes. And I thought at the time, I'm thinking, wow, that's a bit strange. And he was saying like he just couldn't really move, and his running stats were locked down, and which is disappointing because everybody knows I love an athlete. I think football is that way. I think football is about pace and power and running and hard work, to be fair. And he's got that and ability. So all the people, a lot of my friends who know football quite well, were saying that he'll be your favourite player. I mean, I can't tell you that now because I haven't seen him. So he could be the worst player, but at the moment, potentially, he's the best player. So it's a disappointment. It's always a disappointment when you lose your captain, quite obviously. But then, what I always say, and I'll say this a million times in interviews, it's always about next man up. Like, you can't wish what you had. I wish I still had hair, but I don't. So it's next man up. Who's going to play? Who's going to do a job for the team? And it's always about the we, not the me. So what are we going to do as a dressing room? Captain's gone, right? Stand up. And I thought the lads in midfield did. So I'm really pleased with them.
You've had best part of an hour with them on the training ground, but I think there were little tweaks that we could see that paid off, I think.
Oh, thanks. We did. And in fairness to them, like you want to put stuff into them, but normally your volume day is 2 days before kick-off because you can train them. The day before kick-off isn't really a light touch because you want them to be fresh for the game. You don't want to lose any freshness. So in fairness, I think they carried a bit of fatigue from yesterday. But we do have an impetus on, I want my strikers to get chances. I want crosses in the box. And there were some unbelievable balls, as were Kel's free kicks were a joke. And we should be taking them opportunities. And I think the dressing room feels like that. That's what they've said. Like, we should have took an opportunity off a set piece. So, and in tight games, that's why set pieces are so important. You can nick a 1-0 just based on the fact you were good on a corner or something. So we'll get better at them. And like I said, we get another day on the training pitch, another hour, terrific, and try and get them as fresh as we can for Monday.